Um, when we're going to have a reversal, we have a doji candlestick, and it's not a reversal candlestick, so it makes me kind of confused. Are you telling me that in the middle of the candle there's only one line? Yes, it's like a cross. So it depends. If it's completed inside the pivot, it will be performed. But if not, it won't be performed. So let me find an example. For example, this. Yes, it's like a cross. And the line in the middle is either a little bit to the top or close to the bottom. If you give me access, I will show you. Or I can draw a line. No, I will give you access. There you go, you have access. Do you see my pointer now? Click on the screen first. Can you see it now? Yes. I'm talking about this. These are completed inside their previous candlestick. Yeah, you're right. It was, we're going to have a decline here, right? Yes. Okay. So let me see if we're actually going to have a decline or not. Okay, so why did we have a reversal here? What pivot was there? Because it has a lot of distance with the pivot at the top. No, please go back. The last candle at the beginning of your chart. Yes, that one. That is your pivot. Yes, because I didn't find any pivots in here. And it has opened the price from the top. And these are very suspicious too because it seems like we're going to have a decline. No, you see, these candlesticks were completed inside your previous candlesticks and they were also a sideways trend. So you can't make any decisions based on them. Is this a reversal candlestick? Yes. And it has been performed. It has been performed, but after two candlesticks. Yes, that is possible. You could have 5 candlesticks after that, but at the end of the day, it will be performed. The important thing is that the shadow of the reversal candlestick should not be opened. Oh, okay. How do we analyze this one because it doesn't have any shadows there? You see, you start to sell when you see a reversal candlestick. And it's true that these candlesticks will make you lose, but eventually your reversal candlestick is going to be performed. So ignore them. It's okay because they were performed, they were completed inside the previous candlesticks, so they don't matter. So we shouldn't consider these ones. They're like a sideways trend. Yes, exactly. So, excuse me. Can I ask my question? They're sideways, but this has a long shadow. But in euro dollar or in pound dollar, we usually have very long shadows. So I wasn't sure if it was going to go up or down. I haven't drawn the Fibonacci or the trend line. Just based on this candlestick here, can I understand if I'm going to have a downtrend or an uptrend? This is what makes me confused. Because this is a very long shadow, but it's not longer than the body. No, that's right. You see, you're just checking the candlestick strategy right now. Please move on to a shorter time frame. Where was it? Please don't move your pointer. It was right here. This candlestick. You're right. This one. If you click on the screen, you will have access. So this is a very long shadow, but we've had a downtrend here. Yes, you're right. Draw your trend line, please. It's inside the trend line. Yes, please draw your trend line. You have to use all of your strategies. You have to update your trend lines. You've had a swing high candlestick. Please update your long line. So should I draw it from here? No, please wait a moment. One of them is this. And one of them is this. You've had a rejection here. Now you have access. So we've had this trend line here, and I think that this was a downtrend. But because it has gone further than that, when this was completed, I might have doubted it, that my downtrend was finished and it was going to go up. Should I draw the Fibonacci as well? Yes, please. The two swing highs at the end. In here? Isn't this the overall Fibonacci? No, it's not. This. The price has reached the 61 level, and it has retraced to 23 level. Is that correct? Yes, totally. Because if you want to use the candlestick strategy only, you will have all of these problems. You have to use all of your methods. You have to mix candlesticks with all of your other methods. Now that you have learned about candlesticks and pivot, don't forget about Fibonacci and trend lines. So it has reached the 61 level, but it hasn't gone back to reach 78 level. Yes, that was you've had a downtrend. And the reason why was that you've had pivots and trend lines telling you that it wasn't going to happen. So you've had the warning. Excuse me, I said that I think it has gone inside of that. Yes, but you didn't have the confirmation. The second candle started to work below 50 level. These are your candlesticks that get completed based on the news, and that is possible for them to happen. So these few candlesticks are a sideways trend, and if this candlestick is completed, I know I have to sell. Yes, completely. Or maybe I could have understand that from this candlestick. Which one are you talking about? You have access now. Can you see it now? Yes. I'm talking about this candlestick, the main one here. It has a long shadow. When this was completed, could I understand that I was going to have a downtrend based on this? No, because the shadow is not longer than the body. Thank you. If you look at another chart, you will know better. You see, for example, this one. Do you see my pointer now? Yes. It looks like a swing high candlestick, but it looks like a cross. That's okay. It doesn't make any difference because it was inside the pivot and it was confirmed too. The pivot right here? Yes. You've had a swing low pivot right there. Exactly, you're right. But it makes me a little bit confused. It doesn't look like a swing high candlestick. Yeah, you're right. Because it doesn't have any bodies. It doesn't look like a swing high candlestick, but because it was completed inside a candlestick and this has happened, it will be performed. And we've had more examples of these. But because they weren't completed inside the pivot, they would be faded out. So this is a candlestick that I would have relied on it, and it would have made me lost money because the next one has gone up and then it has declined. Yes, exactly. This here is a good candlestick. I was looking for this one, but I find the cross-looking ones. Yes, but the one that you the one that you showed me, you say that it wasn't performed. No, it wasn't performed. If you open a sell order, you should put your stop loss there. You see that? It has reached the stop loss and then it has retraced because there was a distance between it and the pivots. So your reversal candlestick is reliable when it's completed inside your pivot. And because you've had this distance between it and the pivot, it wasn't performed well. And the next one is an engulfing candlestick that has performed it. And this is another reversal candlestick and it has gone up. Is that correct? Yes. And this is another reversal candlestick that was performed. You have access, you can show me. I'm talking about this one. Yes, this is reversal too. But this is not a reversal candlestick because the upper shadow is longer. Yes, exactly. I'm looking for this. Yes, you should look for that. If you see that, you can trade easily. There's something else that looks like a reversal candlestick, but it's not a reversal candlestick. It's a kind of like a rest point at the market. For example, like this. Is this a reversal candlestick? No, it's not. It's not. I don't make any decisions based on these candlesticks. I showed you some candlesticks like this. Swing highs or reversal candlesticks that look like this. These are the ones that are reliable. Does this tell me that I'm going to have a downtrend? No, this is a continuation or a 50-50 candlestick. So that is my question. We've had a downtrend, we have an uptrend up until here. Not this one, because it could be a warning for us only. But imagine we didn't have this part of the market. So we've had this candlestick and the next one was completed below this. So could I predict it that my weekly signal was going to be a descending signal? Yes, you could have understood that from it. Is it, I'm saying that, does it matter where it is completed? Yes, exactly. It is. And the swing high was completed below the previous one. You see that? The swing high here was completed below the other one. So that shows you that you're going to have a downtrend. And you've had another confirmation at the bottom there. That's great. Let me practice candlesticks with you. For example, this one. This is one of the ones that makes me confused. It's inside the trend. I can't see your pointer. Now you have access. Can you see it now? Yes. I'm talking about this one. This is in a sideways trend. But sometimes we have candlesticks that are like this and they cause an ascending trend, but they don't look like the reversal candlesticks. You see, that is more of a practical matter. You should wait for the pivot to be reached. You see, we have a few pivots there. So if the price goes further than them, you can start buying freely and safely. Is that clear? For example, in here, if the price goes further than this area, it's a confirmation for you that you're going to have an uptrend. So your pivot was here. You see, this candlestick here was completed. You have to wait until the price goes further than this zone. After that, you can start buying. Is that clear? Yes, thank you. But these are the matters that you have to practice. We've had some of the charts have very long shadows, like pound dollar or euro dollar. I don't have any further questions. I want to talk about candlesticks today. Excuse me. Can we please move on to the Dow Jones chart? Because it's more difficult. You see, in the 4-hour time frame, you see an ascending trend here. And you have to see up until where it goes. Do I have access? No, you don't. No, I don't. I don't want access. I'm just going to draw a line here. So it has to reach this line here. Let me draw a line. I'm not sure how I should do that. I will give you access. You have access now. Click on the screen. Can you see my pointer now? Yes. It's going to reach this area. That's correct.
یکم پایین‌تر
But a
بده
little
دستشو
bit,
هم بزنم اینجا.
I will put my take profit a little bit below that. Yes, so what is the candlestick that is
الان کندل
completed there?
هولد
That
تشکیل
is a
میده
swing
پایین
high
میره سمت
candlestick.
بالا.
So it's going to go up. Yes, exactly.
خب توی پیوت هم بوده،
And it was
انتظار داریم که
inside the
برگرده
pivot,
از اینجا.
so we're going to expect a reversal.
خب ببینم تو پیوت بوده. تو پیوت بوده.
It was inside the pivot,
از اینجا
and it's
برمیگرده
going
بالا.
to retrace from here.
درسته؟
Is that correct? Yes, it is.
این کندلو.
So this candlestick here, okay?
این کندل از اینجا بلند شد رفته
This
بالا.
candlestick has gone up from here, so it's an ascending candlestick. But the candlestick from the bottom, it has opened the price from there. What do you mean? The the long shadow that is right there, doesn't it mean that it has opened the price from there? I mean, I'm talking about this. Okay. This is there's a pivot right there. No, we have pivots at the bottom. No, that is not a pivot because it's inside the trend. It's not a pivot. No, you see, it has come down here, but that is because you didn't have any pivots there. Isn't this a pivot? You mean here? At the tip of this one. Right there. Please click on the screen so I can see. Do you see my pointer now? Yes. Let me show it to you. The its shadow was longer, I think. No, that is the one. No, I'm talking about this. I don't see its shadow when the angle is like this. That is because of your system. You see, this candlestick here has a long shadow. So isn't this a pivot here? Are you talking about swing low pivots? No, it's not a swing low pivot. You can't consider that as a pivot. This is inside the trend. You see, swing low pivots are like this, or this one, or this, or even this, or this one, but this is not a swing low pivot. But it looks like a W. You have access now. I'm talking about this is this looks like a W. Okay, even if it looks like an M or a W, it doesn't matter. This is not a swing low pivot. So I would have sold at this area. So even if you had sold here, your pivot was there. So you were going to gain profit. And it has retraced too. You see, even if you had considered this as a pivot, that was okay because you have another pivot right there. No, I would have started selling from the next candlestick based on that one. No, this is a swing high candlestick. How were you going to start selling based on this? This is a swing high candlestick itself. So based on this, you can't start selling. You see, at the moment, let us analyze the candlesticks one by one. So this is a swing high candlestick, right? So you can start buying
خودم
freely.
میگیرم تا این تا سر این
So I would
ماستم
buy up until here.
یعنی
So yes, you would buy here and put your take profit at this area.
شما بالاترم گرفتین از جایی که من
But you have put your take profit above what I said. It's not well adjusted, but it's below the pivot. Is that clear? Yes.
پس طبق این نمیتونستم
So
بگیرم
I couldn't have
این من
sold
هشدار
based on
ریزش این
this.
نمیداده
Wasn't it a warning for me that
این
I
چیزایی
was going to
اینقدر
have a
رفته
decline?
پایین
Let me see.
همین جایی که قبلا
I'm
صحبت
talking
کردیم
about
اینجا
this
میبینین الان
area. Can you see it? Yes, I can.
این این به من هشدار
So,
ریزش هم
isn't this
نمیداده
a warning for me?
نه نمیداده
No, I don't think so. No, because the shadow is long. So it's not a descending signal for you. When you have a long shadow, that is a swing high candlestick. So these two candles are not very much different. This one is just
آره اینم
bigger.
فرستادتش بالا
Yes, and it has caused an upward movement too. Yes. You see, in shorter time frame, this is my continuation candlestick.
این کندل
Um,
اه،
it's engulfing continuation and
یعنی این
50-50
کندل
candlestick,
بالا
right? Yes. So it is going to go up
اینجوری
when the
باز کرده
price
باشه
here is opened.
البته اینجا شدوش یکم بالاتر رفته ولی خب
Uh,
حالا
although the
صبر
shadow here
کردم
has gone a
این
little bit higher. Yes, it does. It has, but if you want to do scalp trading, you have to wait for the price to reach this area.
ببخشید اینجایی که من الان
Excuse
گذاشتم
me,
اینجا میخریدم
right here, should I
نصف
start
14
buying
94
at
درسته جایی که من
0.1494?
بخوام خرید بزنم
Yes, yes, that is correct. You could start buying there. You see, if I want to do scalp trading, I'm going to talk about every single candlestick. Let me take away your access. Okay, for example, this candlestick.
این کندل 55
This is a 50-50 candlestick. It was inside the pivot, so it caused a continuation candlestick. And then it was completed inside the pivot, so we have another continuation candlestick. So if it goes further than this area a little bit, this will be our continuation candlestick, and you should start buying.
خب من یه
Clear?
سوال همینجا بپرسم
Let me ask a
اگه
question.
ما قیمت همون جایی که شما الان باز کردین
Uh,
این خط سبز بالایی
the
رو میگم اینجا شما
the
اینجا
green
یه
line that you
اومدی
put
باز کردین
there, imagine
اگه
the
شادو
price is
زده
opened
روش
from there.
از اینجا
And
مسیر ما چی هست
if the price declines from there, what are we going to do? No, that is not possible. Because you see, you should put your stop loss when you're doing trades, because nothing in the market is 100%. So you have to expect losing all the time. So you look at your candlesticks in a 4-hour time frame first, right? No, you see, I find the market elasticity based on the 4-hour time frame. For example, in here I have an upward elasticity. And then when I see that, I'm going to start scalping in the shorter time frame. So this is a swing, this is an ascending candlestick, and it's inside the pivot. So it has declined, and then it has come up again. Then it has gone further than the shadow, so it's going to go up. In a 5-minute time frame, I'm going to start trading based on these little candlesticks. But I know that based on the 4-hour time frame, the elasticity is upward. So let's talk about scalping this session. So this candlestick in here is a continuation candlestick, so it's going to go up. The pivot here has been reached, so I can start trading again up until the next pivot. And the next pivot is right there, which is a swing low pivot. We have 3 pivots in this area.
اینجا نیست پایین ترش اینجا
What about this one? Here?
آره
No, that is not a pivot.
خودش
It's inside the trend. Okay, I got it. So when it goes further than this pivot, I'm going to start buying again. So I can't do trading as easily as that. So I will trade based on every single candlestick. And you should keep an eye on your market watch there. So the 15 minutes one has been completed recently, and it has given me an ascending signal. The candlestick has a long lower shadow, and the next candlestick is going to go up.
جالبه
That's very interesting. Let's move on to the 1 minute time frame.
خب این شد که کندل 50 همپوشانی
You see, I am going to locate my pivots with a line. This is one pivot. Again, this is another one. Above that, I also have this pivot and this candlestick base here. And the next pivot is my swing low pivot right there. So I have these pivots on the way. If I move on to the shorter time frame, this is an ascending candlestick for me. Excuse me,
ببخشید پیوت ها تو چه تایمی مشخص
in what time frame did you locate your pivots? In the 15 minutes time frame. When I want to do scalp trading, I locate my pivots in the 15-minute time frame and then start trading in 5-minute time frame. So my 15-minute time frame was ascending. So in the 5-minute time frame, my candlestick was completed as an ascending time frame, as an ascending candlestick, and the pivot here has been broken. So I have one pivot here, and the price is going to react to this pivot. I can exit when it reaches this pivot and then enter again. So when it reaches the pivot, I'm going to exit. And this is my main pivot here, which is a swing low pivot. This is the minutely time frame. This is the continuation candlestick and it's ascending, and it's going to come up to here. Isn't it a swing high candlestick? No, because the shadow is not longer than the body. It's reacting to the pivot there. That is why it's declining. But this candlestick is not a swing high candlestick. It's a continuation candlestick. That is why I tell you, you have to locate your pivots to see where the price reacts to the pivots. And also keep an eye on your market watch. You have to wait until the time is over. So it's an engulfing one, and the next one has to go up, right? Yes. But because this candlestick was white, we're probably going to have a decline here. But I'm just saying maybe, because the market elasticity is upward. But there's a possibility that this is not going to be performed. So I'm still buying. So it has declined up until here, I guess. It shouldn't go further than that. Excuse me. How did you locate that pivot? Based on your open close pivot and your candlesticks. You shouldn't forget the previous methods. So this is a reversal candlestick and it has to cause an upward movement. So write that down on a piece of paper. Isn't your open close pivot a little bit lower than that? No, it doesn't have much distance. Excuse me. Okay, so these candlesticks here have been completed inside their previous candlesticks. So for now, we're not going to make any decisions based on this. But I told you that we have a pivot right there. You see? So it has reacted to this pivot and it has to go up. Excuse me. That is a very important point, that it exactly started to retrace where you draw a line here. Do you see my pointer now? No, you don't have access. So you see, this is a swing high candlestick. So it has to cause an upward movement. I have a pivot here. So you see that it has reacted to it. So in the 5-minute time frame, I check that again. And because the price is close to the pivot here in the 5-minute time frame, in the 5-minute and 15-minute time frame, that is why the price is stuck right here. You have to know that you still have an uptrend. So you shouldn't get afraid and start selling or close down your deal, because your elasticity is upward. When that happens, these little fluctuations don't matter, because my target is right there in the 4-hour time frame. So the price is going to reach that target eventually. And when it reaches that, even if we have fluctuations or declines here when I'm scalping, these declines don't matter. You see, it has gone up again. So the little declines are not important. What is this candlestick here? It's an ascending one. Yes, but it's below this pivot. So it's probably going to come down a bit. Yes, and there's a possibility of an engulfing candlestick too, but I shouldn't be worried. So because it was completed inside the pivot, it could have fluctuations here, but that doesn't matter because I have an upward elasticity in the market and I have my target put up there.
کندل قبلی تغییر روند نبود؟
Wasn't the previous candlestick a reversal candlestick? No, it's not
باید
reliable
بلندتر
enough.
بود شادوش.
The shadow should have been longer, and it was completed inside the previous candlestick. See, if you see that it has fluctuations here, it's because it's below this pivot there. And because it's right there, that is why it has fluctuations and it's stuck. Alright, so this is a descending candlestick. And the decline isn't very much. So even if it declines, it doesn't matter because my target is up there. So that is why I tell you that in scalp trading, don't trade opposite of the market. What does that mean? It means that, for example, the elasticity is upward, but then you start selling. You see, the elasticity is upward, but if you start selling, you could even gain profits, but then if it goes up, it's not going to come down. You're going to lose. You see, I have started buy orders in here. So it doesn't matter that I've had these decline in these two candlesticks because I know that the elasticity is upward and it's going to go up eventually. So in scalp trading or even your midterm trading, don't trade opposite of what your elasticity tells you. If you do that, you should be very careful and locate all of your pivots and candlesticks. I have to wait for this candlestick to be completed to see what signal it gives me. In the 1 minute time frame, what is this candlestick here?
کندل بالا.
It's a swing high candlestick. And it's going to continue. It's a ascending continuation candlestick.
بله به سمت بالا.
Yes, it's
از
ascending.
پایین جمع کرده داره میاد.
You see the upward movement it caused? So in scalp trading, don't trade opposite of what your market elasticity is. The reason why it has so many reactions and it's stuck there is because it's below the pivots. So what is this candlestick?
این کندل 50-50
It's a 50-50 candlestick. Let's see if it's inside the pivot or not. Yes, it is. It's an engulfing candlestick now because it was completed inside the pivot.
کندلی که تشکیل شد چه شکلی میشه؟
Look at this candlestick here.
جمع کرد بالا.
This one. You see, firstly, it was completed inside its previous candlestick, so that's not important. It was engulfing and then it's going to go up. the candlestick that are completed inside their previous candlestick
مهم نیست.
are not important. And the elasticity is upward.
بله قیمت داره مثلا
Yes, the price is going up. So you can take orders based on that. The 5-minute candlestick
سمت بالا.
was still ascending because the elasticity is upward. So it's going up easily.
خیلی جالبه.
That is very interesting.
واسه
If you learn about the candlesticks, that is 80% of the market. On the circumstance that you mix it with pivots. Excuse me, you're trading very easily. The questions that I'm asking now, I don't know the questions to when I'm trading myself. You see, this is why I am doing scalp trading in front of you so you can see what your problems are and ask your questions. So the price is going to come up to here, below the pivot. You see the reactions? Excuse me, aren't you afraid that a news is going to be published suddenly and then it declines? No, because technical analysis is stronger than the news. What news? Because you have all of the confirmations here based on candlesticks, your trend lines, and all of the factors are met. So even if I have a news, it's going to complete the things that I have interpreted. And I have put my stop loss in all of my tradings. In what time have you put your stop loss? In the 4-hour time frame. If this is opened, that is over. So it's below the previous candlestick, right? Or is it in a pivot? In the 4-hour time frame, inside the pivot, below the 4-hour candlestick. So if this pivot breaks here, it's going to continue its movement up until the next pivot. And it's definitely going to be broken because I have an upward elasticity. You see? It went further than that. Because I have a very good and powerful signal, so I won't take any risks. So I know that it's going to reach that place. Now I am trading in front of you so you can know that the rules always perform. So this is a continuation candlestick here. So it's going to continue its movement up until the next pivot. What about this one? I have to exit here. So I'm going to exit. It's a reversal candlestick. And then it declines again, so I start buying. You buy there? Yes. If it comes down, I gain my profit and I exit and then start buying again. So this is my reversal candlestick. My spread is wide now because the market is closing down. So it's going to reach the previous pivot, but still I have put my target above that. I have a swing low pivot right there. So the decline is going to be up until the previous pivot. So what about this candlestick?
همچنانی شد.
This is a
همچنانی
engulfing one, right?
عالیه.
No, this is a continuation or engulfing candlestick. It was, if it's completed inside the pivot, that is engulfing. So it was completed inside the pivot, but then it has gone further than that.
این پیوت باز شد.
So this pivot was
دوباره باز
opened?
شد.
Where? You see in here. This pivot here was broken. And the next pivot was here, so it retraced from there. So you have to wait until this candlestick is completed and you get the signal from that.
این به سمت بالا تموم بشه من اون سیگنال
So if it's completed as an ascending one, I'm going to get a buy signal from that. Yes, so now it's completed. It's giving you an ascending signal. So the price should go up. And my spread is very wide. It's the worst time to do scalp trading.
من متوجه شدم.
It's okay. You can stop trading. No, that's fine. You see, I know my target is right there in my 4-hour time frame. It's right here. This is my target. So I know that my price has to reach this place.
بله. ولی یه دفعه نمیاد بالا.
But it's not going to come up
خب این اومد
in
پایین.
one movement. Yes, that's correct. But these are ruining your trend because you've had a swing low pivot. It has gone up, but then it has reached the swing low pivot and then it has declined. So this is my descending candlestick up until this pivot here. So I'm going to have a reaction again. You can draw your partial trend lines as well.
دقیقاً.
So this will be your pivot in that zone, but I will still keep an eye on it. I wouldn't trade opposite of this elasticity of the market. In the hourly time frame, what is my candlestick? It's a swing high, right? No, it's inside the previous candlestick. I told you that whenever a candlestick is completed inside its previous candlestick, it doesn't matter and it has to be ignored.
بله.
So let's move on to the previous candlestick.
این کندل
It was inside the pivot, so it's engulfing. So it has engulfed at least 80% of the previous candlestick. So it has reached this point. So this is an engulfing candlestick and it has engulfed 80% of its previous candlestick. So I have pivots in here too. What is this candlestick?
این کندل ریزشی تموم شد.
It's descending. That's true. So what is it going to do?
این ریزشی پیوت بوده.
You've had a pivot
یا
there.
پیوت باز کرده.
Or it has gone further than the pivot. No, it has gone further than that.
بعدی.
Let me delete this because it has been broken. So you had a trend line here, and the wall of this trend line has stopped it. And that means that you have a pivot there. That's exactly what it is. So the walls of your trend line are exactly what your pivots are. So whenever your price hits the trend line, it means that you have pivots there, right here. Imagine this is your trend line and it overlaps the pivots exactly. So, and it's creating a candlestick base here. And that is when the price is stuck between two pivots. That causes a fluctuation until it breaks the pivot, either from the top or from the bottom.
به سمت بالاست.
But the elasticity is upward. Yes, exactly. That means that even if the trend line here is broken, I shouldn't be worried because at the end of the day, it's going to go up. So I exited at this point, at the reversal candlestick. So I started taking profits and then exited and then started trading down here again. So what is this candlestick?
این کندل افزایشی تموم
This
شد.
is empty and ascending. Yes, exactly. So it has gone up and it has created a gap there.
به سمت بالا.
So it's going to go up, right? Yes. All right. The price is going to fill this gap here and then go up. Where's our pivot? This is our swing low pivot here, right there. So it's going to have create a shock. And we can almost say that it has filled the gap, but it's going to reach this place. So this little distance doesn't matter. So what is this candlestick? It is giving us a descending signal, right? But then it has filled the gap
این
here.
کندل پر شد الان میره بالا.
So it's going to go
تا
up
پیوت.
up until the pivot and then it's going to come back. My target is there. I have a swing low pivot there. I have these pivots here and my trend line. So you shouldn't be afraid if it comes down because your elasticity is upward. My elasticity is upward, so I'm not afraid.
یه کندل که خیلی نزولی میشه من خیلی میترسم.
When a candlestick goes down too far, I get scared. No, you shouldn't be scared because in 4-hour time frame, the elasticity is upward. The 15 minutes is changing now.
به سمت
It's getting completed as a
نزولی.
descending one, and it's a swing high candlestick. So if you're still buying there, you can start selling. But that is a risk because you're trading opposite of the market elasticity. But sometimes reversal or swing high candlesticks are faded out because they were the opposite of your trend. So we don't take this risk. Even if we do, we use very little lot sizes. So what is this candlestick here? It's descending. No, it's a swing high candlestick. So if I take the risk here, the risk would be that I know that the decline will be up until here. So is it worth it? to take this risk when I know that my elasticity is upward? No, it's not. I wouldn't do it. I will keep on buying because my elasticity is upward.
اون باید بره بالا.
It has to go up. Yes, eventually it will go up. Don't worry.
داره میره بالا.
Now it's going up.
یعنی یه کمی
Yes, because your
یکی از
elasticity is
مدلش رو
upward.
زد در
So it
واقع.
declined a little bit. You could say that.
این جد خب مثلا
So in the minutely time frame,
این کندل خب مثل حالت قله بوده دیگه.
this is the swing high candlestick, right? So what has
20 ثانیه.
happened? So it has caused an upward movement and then it has reached a pivot again. So I will exit. So if it comes down again, I will do that. Or if no, you see, you have to pay attention to this candlestick to see how it's completed so you get the signal. So it's ascending, we have to act on that immediately. Yes, that's true.
خب این داره قله از بالا تشکیل میشه. اگه
So we're
همینجوری
going to
تشکیل
have
بشه این
a
نزوله.
swing high
یه
at the
کندل
top. So
پایینه.
if it that keeps on completing like this, we're going to have a
آره
descending
ولی
one.
نرفت. چون اون جهت به سمت بالا.
Because we have the market elasticity upward. No, that's because of this pivot here. I told you, I have pivots here. So I'm going to have so many reactions at this zone. So now it has produced a swing high candlestick. So that is the opposite of the trend. So we're not going to trade. We're not going to make any decisions because there's a possibility of it fading out. And even if it's going to decline, it's up until this area because we have a candlestick base there. You have pivots here. What is this candlestick?
این که نزوله.
It's descending. No. What is it? It's continuation, right? It's 50-50 and continuation. It's going to go up because it was completed inside the pivot. But you have to be careful. If it goes further than the body and the shadow, it will continue its movement up until here. But right now it hasn't happened.
شادوی کجا رو باز
What shadow are you talking about? The body and the shadow here. If it goes further than them, you're going to have a decline up until the pivots.
بله باز.
It hasn't opened it yet. So what is your candlestick here?
تغییر روند به سمت بالا.
It's ascending reversal candlestick. No, it's not.
اینه که تو
Is it engulfing?
کندلای قبلی تموم میشن.
Or is it inside its previous candlestick? Yes. So that's why it doesn't matter. The candlestick that is completed inside its previous candlestick is not important. Don't take any signals based on that. In your 5-minute time frame, what is your candlestick?
کجا؟
When? The previous 5-minute candlestick. The previous one?
نمیبینم اگه
I don't see it.
واسه توی اگه شاید بالش بلندتر باشه مثلا
If the
چیه؟
upper shadow is longer, it's a swing high candlestick, but I don't see it.
این شادوی این
It's up until here.
شادوی این نزوله.
So it's descending. It is giving you a descending signal.
نزولش هم زد.
And it has
یعنی
declined
کرد.
a little bit. Yes, just a little bit. And it doesn't matter. But it's inside the previous candlestick.
درسته. این
Yeah,
بالا
that is
نرفت.
correct.
اصلا مهم
It
نیست.
hasn't gone further than the previous candlestick, so it doesn't matter. Yes. So I'm not going to make any decisions based on this. Maybe even we have a little bit of a decline, but I don't make any decisions based on that. And we won't trade the opposite of the market elasticity.
خب این الان داره باز میکنه پیوت از پایین.
So it's trying to open the pivot from the bottom. That's okay, don't be afraid. Your elasticity is upward. You shouldn't be worried. You see, but you shouldn't forget, your elasticity is upward. If the price doesn't go further than this, that is because of the pivots that you have. You have pivots there.
بله.
Right, we do. But your elasticity is upward. Because you have pivots here, it's stuck there. And it has little fluctuations like that. But it's going to break it eventually. What is your previous 30 minutes candlestick? It was continuation and ascending. But it didn't have much of a decline. You see, my target is right there. So where's my take profit and my target? One of them is here, because I have these pivots here. And my other target is right there, because I have pivots. And I have another target that is right there, which is my next pivot. And my final target is here. And I have another one there. So that is my 4-hour target. Is that clear for you? Yes, but it's difficult. It is difficult, but you have to practice. You have to practice a lot. But you have to get the signal candlestick by candlestick, and you have to be fast. You see, I've had pivots here, is that correct? So my price has to go up. And I have a partial trend line and a midterm trend line here too. So we've had a breakout here. So get the signals from every single candlestick. And if you do that, please try to be on the Dow Jones and in your 1-minute time frame, because it has so many fluctuations. So start to get the signal from every single candlestick that is completed and open orders to see what happens. If you don't open any orders and just look at it, you're not going to learn it. When you take orders, you're going to pay more attention to the signals. You see, I have a pivot here, right? So it has reacted to it. So when this candle is completed in a pivot that is an engulfing candlestick, so it has declined. But I will keep in mind that my target is up there and my market elasticity is upward. So in the 1 hour time frame, my candlestick is completed like this. Yes, it looks like a reversal candlestick. Yeah, so it's going to decline up until here. But my target in the 4 hour time frame is here. So even if I don't have any orders, if I see my candlestick like this, I can start buying. I can start buying. But if my target is here in the 4 hour time frame, in the hourly time frame, if I see this candlestick, I shouldn't start buying. I should wait for it to decline first, and when that happens, I can start buying. So if we want to trade, we have to sell, right? Yes, you could do that, but it's the opposite of the market elasticity, so you shouldn't risk it. You see, all of my orders here are buy orders. I could sell too, but I don't take that risk. You see, I could take the signals and buy, but it doesn't take the risk. But in my buy orders, I know that eventually it's going to go up and I'm going to gain my profits. You have a midterm trend line here too. And this is the pivot that you have right there. This candlestick was completed as a descending candlestick, and it's 50-50 candlestick. So it was completed inside the pivot. That means that it's an engulfing candlestick. So it's going up because it's equivalent to the trend. So please rewatch this video again. So when you see my examples and the video, you can start trading on your own. That is how you learn the candlesticks. Now that you know what they are, what they mean, you can start practicing based on them. And whenever a candlestick is completed, start taking orders based on that. So you have to trade so much and practice so much and lose money so much until you are successful. You see, you have another pivot here. So your price is stuck below this. Alright, so any questions or problems? No, thank you. I will send you the video. And next session we're going to continue our scalp tradings. So you see every single candlestick that is completed. And what currency pairs should I work on? You see, Dow Jones is good. In the 1 minute and 5 minutes and 15-minute time frame, you can start scalp trading. And in what time? From evening. I remember that you said that 2:30 in the morning is better. No. You just want to learn now. 3:30 a.m. is only for the JPY chart. But we will talk about that in the future. Firstly, learn the candlesticks. Any questions? No, thank you so much. Have a good night. I will send you the video. Thank you. Goodbye.